Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to the Ancient Legends Challenge. In the last episode, our tribe migrated to the Summer Mountains, which appeared to be quite a bit more peaceful than our previous island was. Though danger soon reared its head in the form of the rogue males. It's quite clear that this island had been inhabited before us, and the rogue male is very, very persistent. He's already met up with one of our other creatures. Poor Gabby, who is all alone with her toxic berries and her bunnies. She must be feeling like her entire tribe abandoned her. Just like her little brother on our previous island, who decided to stay behind with all of the hot springs. So I hope we can find sweet little Gabby a friend to stay by soon. But the rogue male isn't all bad news. He is opening some new doors for us, some new opportunities for some of our females, who might not get the chance to have babies otherwise. Reezy and Melodine are closing in on the very ends of their stories. Melodine is actually going to pass away today, and I think Reezy is passing away right after her. I'd imagine that they always hoped they would have the chance to raise some babies together, either side by side or maybe just start a family between them both. But they always had too many adventures to go on, too many places to explore, and they never had the chance to find a suitable partner. So perhaps Melodine, on her very last day, would take this as her chance to convince Reezy that this is the right choice for her. That way their legacy can live on in some form, even if it is by a rogue male's child. I think we probably only have one move to make too, because most likely he's going to go after Silera next. And they do have similar immunity genes, so I don't want to risk sick babies between them. I think we'll go back here to little Ivan, who seems to be getting very cold, exposing himself to the elements as he stands high atop the bunny burrow. Scotia would insist that he takes a nice long bath. But if we go ahead and skip the day, then we should be free to move Silera out of harm's way. Though unfortunately that does mean that we have to say goodbye to Melodine, which is going to be a very, very sad moment for Reezy in particular. So let's scoot Silera all the way over here, and then we'll see if Reezy can hopefully swap places. We can't really do much for the rogue male's genetics, but we could place a couple of quick things into Reezy's mutation menu. I suppose the spots would be an interesting thing to keep on her babies. Since Melodine herself had the spots, it might be a nice little throwback to her very best friend. That derp snout is going to be an issue too, so maybe we could place the digging trunk into her second slot. She has it tucked in her genetics, so if we could do the same for her babies, at least we might be able to pull some more diggers into the tribe soon. Let's make sure that we scoot Snowdrop out of the way though, as Reezy breeds with the rogue male. Then as she places down a nest, maybe she could help out her friends by scaring him away too. Almost like a little spider, getting what she needs and then getting rid of the rogue male. We might even move Silera and Snowdrop deeper into the grass, so the rogue male hopefully won't notice them. And that'll give Snowdrop the chance to dig around for some of those tasty roots too. Maybe Silera could even offer to tell her about her past. I'd imagine that she was probably some sort of grand explorer herself. What with those double claws, the antlers, the hammer tail, she must have made for quite the grand huntress in her time. Maybe she was even scouting ahead on this island to make sure everything would be safe for her family. But then it got a little bit too cold, and she unfortunately is quite vulnerable to the cold weather. So now recognizing Snowdrop as the queen of our summer court, I guess she's willing to lend a paw and at least carve out pathways for Snowdrop to take so she can help feed her tribe. I'm sure that digging trunk would even put her at ease, since it's one of those legendary ancient genetics, so it's probably something that she recognizes from her past. Now it looks like the Krabbits might be coming up to say hi to you guys. Oh, and we have some meat back here too? Ooh, I forgot about that. I think we abandoned it when the rogue male came at us. That might have even been something that you caught for us, Gabby. Well, let's see if you can scoop that up, so you'll have something to feed to your baby. I feel like there's probably no use in bringing John Panda up after the rogue male. It seems like he's far too far away, and far too close to the end of his lifespan now too, for it to really make a difference. So we might as well bring him back toward his family again. See if hopefully we can carve our way through all of this tall grass. And not a moment too soon. I bet he's really excited to get to know his son better. I hope Azan will be a grand and valiant knight too. Just like his father, Mr. Panda will have to teach him very, very well. Now, do you think bath time is over? Is it time for Ivan to go out exploring again? I'll bet he is quite the independent soul, and I'm sure that Scotia understands as much, so she would be willing to let him wander down the shores again, maybe investigate those healing fruits, and all of the bunnies skittering around Gabby's territory. That would actually be quite interesting if these two crossed paths. They are some of the only creatures with the hammer tails after all, so they could find a bit of a connection between them. But Scotia is going to return to the tall grass, so she can poke around for some little bunnies to scoop up for the tribe. Or maybe even this pesky Crabbit, the one that seems to have gotten in the way. I suppose if Knight wanted to tag team it with her, they might be able to feast on something new. Oh, but did it lead them to a permanent nest? Well, that's awfully lucky. I guess we could bring Scotia over here then, and start trying to clear out this place. Maybe we could even have some babies with Scotia too. I'm pretty sure that her immunity genes line up perfectly with Mr. Panda's. And since she does fit perfectly into their family as well, what with her love for bunny hunting, they could actually make some excellent warriors. Hunters and warriors all across the island. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and skip the turn, see what Reezy's one and only baby is going to look like. Oh, and she even has the bunnies watching over her. Oh my gosh, that is adorable. Well, we better bring Silera out of the tall grass, unfortunately putting her right in the rogue male's sights. But swooping in to save this baby would be her top priority. She actually looks like she's going to be just as strong as her mother, if not more so with that big body of hers. Oh, and she's hiding away the stinky tail too. So, despite a couple of flaws, like the derp snout and the deformed paw, she will make for a very valuable explorer. She's even hardy enough to withstand the cold temperatures, so she won't have to worry about sticking too close to the rest of her tribe. And that's just how Meladine and Reezy live too, so it's the perfect way to continue their legacy. I am going to break tradition a little bit for this baby, and instead of using one of the names from our list, I think Reezy would want to name her after Meladine herself. Just a little nod to her very best friend. So I guess we could name her Mila? Instead of just going with like Meladine II, Mila would give her her own identity, while still giving our tribe a way to remember those grand adventures. So Silera, now we have to keep a very close watch over the rogue male. Thankfully though, with her amazing strength, I think she should be able to defend herself quite easily. We'll just have Snowdrop maybe lure him out from hiding, and then take one final swipe. There we go. Nothing to worry about with Silera around. She is definitely the strongest one in our tribe, so Snowdrop is in some pretty good hands now. Let's see if we have any more roots for you to dig up in the meantime. Now that these two are apparently Mila's guardians, Mila is going to be living off of a very balanced diet of roots and bunny meat. Not a berry in sight for her future, unfortunately. Though considering that she doesn't have a way to pick them, I suppose that makes sense. Azan, on the other hand, you might as well help your family pick the berries by your tree, because those pesky bunnies are going to steal them before long. Oh, they're just gazing at you from the darkness. They know that you have all the food underneath your tree. So we might want to clear out this area as soon as possible. But Mr. Panda has to make his way down here to have a baby with Scotia. I think her mutation menu is already set up from her previous relationship, but now that she's getting so close to the end of her lifespan, we might as well just place the hammertail into her other slot too. That way it'll be a little bit more likely that we'll see it on her babies. And maybe Ivan and Gabby will have some more company. So make your way through all of that tall grass for us, and then we'll have Scotia breed with you. And we might as well do the same for Night too. She could even plop down an extra nest right next to Scotia's, since this seems like it's probably a better place for a nursery. The other one is blocking the bunny burrow, and since this family is known for their bunny hunting, they wouldn't want to pass up on a good opportunity like this. Now as for you, Ivan, I wonder if he would, oh my goodness, notice Gabby by now? Well, it seems as if you can scoop up some good mole meat instead. That would definitely alert Gabby, just hearing all of those chattering little moles in the distance. Oh, the bunnies have gotten to your berries after all, Azon. Oh, we're going to have to teach you how to chase them down a little bit more effectively. I guess you've been slacking off during Night's classes, but that bunny is still close enough that you should be able to get your revenge as soon as we're ready to skip the day. So let's go over here and see what Gabby's first baby is going to look like. If hopefully they'll have the hammertail just like she does. Oh, it's a little stinky-tailed baby? Oh my goodness, she almost looks like a little squirrel. And with the digging paw too, she'll be able to find all of the roots in the land, just like her mother can. She has the hammertail in her inactive slot at least, and it also looks like she has the frog toes. Oh, she's lucky we're on the summer mountains. This should make it much easier for her to hop around than it would on our previous island. The cliff sides aren't quite so steep. The next name on my list is Boo Boo, which is quite an adorable name for such an adorable creature. So welcome to our tribe, little one. I'm sure that Gabby will be very, very happy to have you in her family. She's not going to let you out of her sight. And now she has the company of this new stranger as well, drifting in on the mist, right between all the raindrops, with a strange hammer tail. The only other creature that she has ever seen with one of those grand genetics. So she would know that there's some sort of connection between them that could help put her mind at ease. Now as for these babies, oh, look at this little one. He almost looks just like his father. Oh, but with the way that the mask looks on the normal snout, it almost looks like a little crown. A little golden crown of summer to go along with his peachy colored fur. Oh, I wonder if Sydney may have blessed this baby then. A perfect prince for the summer mountains. He even has the true crown of ram horns to show for it too. So Anna Meme is even watching over our tiny little tribe. As for his name, the next name on my list is Pebble Hollow. So welcome to our tribe, little one. And let's see what your half-sister looks like too. Oh, wait a second. She almost looks just like Reezy. Oh, that is so strange. The only difference is the ram horns and the digging paw too. I don't believe she had the digging paw, but she did have that big, giant, lovely claw. So that bodes well for your future little one. Your name will be Lacey, so welcome to our tribe. And we'll see what sort of shenanigans you can get into, especially as we clear out more of this land, so you and your siblings can do some more exploring. Oh my goodness, there is so much food around here. And that bunny, we have to have Azon grab that bunny before it steals even more of his precious berries. Let's see if his father can maybe startle it out from hiding That way you can lunge at the intruder. But we're going to need some help from the bunny hunting experts if we want to get all of them out of our territory. So Scotia, on her final day, I can't think of anything that she would love to do more than pounce on some unsuspecting bunnies. We'll have Night make her way around the hot springs to confuse the final one, putting the finishing touches on a giant feast for her family. I have noticed that our food supplies are starting to dwindle now. They're dipping below that stock of 100 that we had, so we need to really go out on the attack and pick up as much food as we possibly can. It's especially good that we have so many able hunters now, because the food is the only thing that we need to increase before we ship off to our next mountain. I'm pretty sure that this one, judging by all of those bones on the ports, is going to be quite a bit harder than our peaceful little summer mountain. In fact, I think it's the big frozen one, right? The one that has no berry bushes or trees in sight, and we'll have to rely on our bunny hunting skills and our roots too, to help our tribe survive. So as long as we stock up on food now, we'll have quite a bit more wiggle room to work with. I think it's time that Silera jumped into the hot springs to warm up. We'll have little Mila toddle behind her. Oh, and it looks like one of the bunnies is interested in the hot springs too. Maybe you can lure it closer. Make it think that you're just a friend. Nope, Silera's a little too intimidating for the bunnies. And rightfully so too. She has caught quite a few bunnies in her time on this island so far. So we should be ready to skip the turn again, and just make sure that everybody stays safe out here. Oh, our first bearyena, and more importantly, our first bearyena baby? Oh my gosh, you guys. The friendly bearyenas have arrived to join our ghosts of winter. Or little bunny hunters, maybe. They must have smelled all of that fresh meat. Oh, this is why I always hate to leave our food just lying around like this. But I suppose in this situation, it really paid off for us. Because now we should be able to adopt our very first friendly bearyena. So Azon, from the safety of your hot springs, you can land a few good blows on the bearyena for us. And now she's practically done. Oh, Knight, you can finish the job. Just one swing from you, and then we'll have plenty of bearyena meat to pick up for the tribe. Now, John Panda might be a valiant knight, but he's certainly no monster. And after he realizes that there's a little friendly bearyena, a tiny bearyena baby hiding away in the grass, he wouldn't have it in him to chase the baby away. So let's offer up a little bit of our extra bunny meat for you, and hopefully you'll be willing to stick around, because there's plenty more where that came from. It's nice to see that he fits into the role of father so well, huddling all the babies close to his side. I wonder if that might be a little bit of Big Don's influence. He did have a soft spot for the walrus deer after all. Now, how are you guys doing back here? It looks like one of you could definitely pounce on that mole. It might as well be you, Ivan. You did a pretty good job hunting it down before. And then you can show Gabby what you can really do with that big hammer tail. I bet she would be quite impressed. Oh, she's actually sitting on a molehill? Oh my goodness, Gabby. That is not going to help you catch the moles. I guess she needed a little bit of help after all. Maybe if we have Ivan pull little Boo out of the nest, the mole will be a bit more willing to poke his head out and say hi. But for now, it's just the waiting game. And that's something that our little explorers have absolutely no interest in. We'll have Mila pack up her nest, getting ready to strike out searching for roots and bunnies. Silera can teach her how to hunt, while Snowdrop tries her best to keep their bellies full with the many, many roots that she passes. Alright, I think they're ready to give chase. It looks like the bunnies are leading them into some new grasses, probably going after all of those clovers. They do tend to hang around the clover patches if there's no berries for them to steal. So with that in mind, let's skip the day again and see if Mila can use that to her advantage. Xylera is going to pick this one off. Oh, and this one too, okay. 1 bunny for each of your claws. But that leaves Mila to seek out some little clover patches of her own. Maybe she could even scoot off this way to see if the bunnies might be munching on these instead. Yes, they were. Oh, and you scared it off too? So on the next turn, maybe you can snatch him up for good. It's interesting that we have so many bunnies following us right now. Our ghosts of winter always considered them to be guides. They helped lead our tribe to the top of the mountain and brought quite a few of our families together. Birch himself was a very firm believer in the bunny guides. So I guess this family would be the most open to that tradition. And isn't it funny that the bunny meat was what lured the friendly bearyena toward us? Oh, I'm sure they would pin that on the bunnies. And it would give them a good reason to follow the rabbits once more. I think that task is going to fall to Azon for now. He is a little bit more vulnerable to the cold, what with his medium body. But I think as long as he stays by those hot springs, he should be okay. It looks like we have some bunnies in this tall grass, so maybe there's something out here that they want us to see. We'll have you explore that when you have a little bit more energy. And now that the babies are growing up, Mr. Panda should be free. Oh geez, wait a second. We don't want to lose our friendly bearyena. Lacey, please clear out a little bit of that grass for us. That way he doesn't get completely swallowed up by the darkness. Now, Mr. Panda, you can come over here and breed again with Night, because I think it would be a good idea for you guys to have a few more babies. Oh my goodness. Maybe the bunnies think that you guys are guides to them. I mean, look how many we have swarming around your tribe, with so much potential danger waiting in their paths. They are either very reckless bunnies, very, very cheeky, or they have some big plans in store for you. And Gabby, it looks like you have a seashell to collect. There aren't too many creatures on the mountains who find joy in collecting shells, but I guess you can be our very first one. It makes sense too with little Boo Boo and her frog toes. Oh, she is so slow on the grass. That's mostly because of that deformed paw, of course. I didn't consider that potential issue. Well, that's all the more reason for her mother to just hug the shores. Maybe her family could drift along the tide pools, so she can dip her little frog toes into the chilly water. Quite fitting that they're so close to this strange island, with this one lone tree, so similar to Gabby's own past, the lone sentinel abandoned by her tribe mates. But it's not such a sad situation for her anymore, now that she has a baby and a friend. And who knows, maybe she and Ivan can even start another branch of the Hammertail family, because I do think their immunity genes line up pretty well, and they also both have the toxic fangs, or the poison fangs rather, in their inactive slots. So there is a slim possibility that we could have babies who could actually pick from these berry bushes. And how fitting is that? Raising her babies alongside the poison, only for them to develop a unique taste for those berries. Now, before we end the episode, I suppose we could have Azon do a little bit of exploring, or maybe just a little bit of bunny hunting instead. Oh my gosh, you guys, 3 bunnies in a row? And it looks like John Panda can jump down here and get this one too. Okay, I think our food worries might be over. And it's all thanks to this little guy right here. We should give him a name that relates to the bunnies in some way. I know he doesn't look like a bunny himself. He is much more intimidating than the pesky berry stealers. But since the bunny guides brought him into our life, I feel like it would be pretty fitting. So let me know if you guys have any ideas. And in the next episode, hopefully we'll be able to introduce the bearyena genetics into our family. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!